All right, welcome back to the Chris Horner video diary. Chris, we are in Brussels, the start of stage 2. You probably didn't expect 2 stages in, you'd already have some injuries, some bruising. Everybody saw the crash yesterday. Want to find out how it all happened and what you thought of the stage, but first just tell us how you are today.
Today, mainly just a bad back. Got caught up in the last crash. Luckily landed on the rider that went down in front of me, and I got the bike a little bit under control, but just hit him with enough speed to flip over the bars, and my feet stayed clipped into the pedal, so the bike actually kind of bent my back in the scorpion direction instead of the way it's meant to go, so it went in the reverse direction. So the back was really sore last night. I was a lot of stress last night, wondering just how it was going to come out this morning, because at night they can inflame up and get worse, and then that's it, your Tour de France is over. And the same scenario for Levi too, is went to the hospital, had to get x-rays. X-rays show negative, but everybody knows x-rays on very early in a crash could show something broken or it could show something not broken. So it's really a touch and go until you wake up in the morning, and luckily the team looks good still.
What did you think about the last, say, 15K yesterday? I mean, the roads were very narrow, lined with fans. It seems like every Tour de France, the first few stages, it's nervous. It's usually field sprint. And I don't want to put words in your mouth, but to finish on a narrow road like that is almost a setup for a disaster.
Certainly the first stage, tomorrow's stage on stage 3 is set up for disaster. There's no doubt about it. Yesterday, I guess the promoters, they want the excitement and the thrill of what it's going to be like to fight through and see if you can live through these stages, because literally yesterday's stage was so narrow. You have the crack down the middle of the road because it's not asphalt, it's concrete. It's a very narrow road, and with the crack, it means you can't move from the left side of the road to the right side of the road or vice versa without having to hop over the middle, which causes more chaos in the group too. Certainly with the fast descent into the last corner, everything was spelled disaster coming into it. Luckily, there was no rain, so we got off good there. And in all honesty, I thought there was less crashes than there could have been on a stage like that. But it's a tour, so you gotta do what you gotta do to get through the stage. As I was saying earlier, we had 2 of us, certainly with Levi and myself, have some problems last night that could have ended our tour, and we had, of course, with Yanni, and we had Dimitri too crash yesterday. We could be down to 5 guys right now.
Kloden twice.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Yeah. I said Dimitri, but it was Kloden twice. Once with a dog and once at the finish. And so it's certainly. I prefer. I love the crowds. They're absolutely enormous here. These are crowds that we had when we were going through London a few years back. So the crowds have been insane, but they're so big when we come into town that they're 20 deep. And when you're 20 deep, they actually can't move back. So they come out into the road to catch the view of us as it's angling out like that, so everyone can catch a view. And then their job is to move back. But when there's 20 guys behind them, they can't move back fast enough. And so a couple times that was causing some crashes too. So it's just spectacular. It's the tour. It's going to be dangerous on these first few days. We expect it. I would have preferred a little bit wider roads coming into the finish. I don't think the rest, you can't complain about the rest. Everything was good roads. It was well put on. The wind being there. The wind is the wind. It's always going to be there. But certainly at the finish, a little bit wider roads would have been nice.
Yeah, with the crowds, it's just almost too much of a good thing. Well, I just want to get your take on today's stage and then tomorrow as well. What's your opinion on having sort of mini classics, especially this early on? Today is a mini Liège-Bastogne to Liège. Tomorrow, a mini Paris-Roubaix. Obviously, going to be carnage tomorrow. Your take?
I like having them as the classics. There's no reason to mix things up. So I see the dangers. The part is when you're sitting at home as the fans and you're watching it on TV, you're like, wow, that was a really exciting day. But also what could happen again is you split the teams down in half and you have 5 guys left to race. And the 4 that crash out could be GC guys that later you could be watching going up one of the mountains that are fighting and battling for the tour to win the overall. And you can see another exciting part. But if they crash and they're out, if you take Lance Armstrong and he crashed yesterday and broke his arm, he's out, he's done. So you lose that excitement of Lance maybe crashing out. You lose the excitement of Alberto crashing out. So there is a downside to having those earlier stages being that exciting, is that the rest of the race might not be. So I don't think it's the place to have it. my personal opinion, it's not. Especially the Pave section that we have coming up. That I don't believe is a good thing. There will be some incredible crashes tomorrow. There's no doubt about it.
Oh yeah, there's definitely guys who will take the start tomorrow that will not finish the stage and not finish the
Yes.
tour. Well, Chris, we're glad you're okay. Everybody that's watching this, of course, hopes you make it all the way to Paris so they can keep checking back. We'll be back tomorrow with another installment of the Chris Horner Diaries.